Hello and welcome to this special edition of WCS Game Day, powered by Walker Chevrolet, as we are on the campus of Brentwood High School for the Battle of the Woods 2019 version. We got the visitors, the Ravenwood Raptors, and your home team, and they came out tonight big time, the Brentwood Bruins. Let's hear it, Brentwood. Tate, they showed up, man. What do you think?
They showed up tonight. Best performance, best turnout ever in the history of game day by the Brentwood Bruins. So they brought it tonight, and very proud of them. I think part of it was because you had been harassing them on Twitter and on TV, but they brought it tonight. So I'm very proud of them, and this is my favorite place to be. I love the Battle of the Woods. And the coolest thing, a couple years ago, the black and the blue, I love it. I hope they keep doing it. A couple years ago, it was Vegas gold and red. I think this is awesome, man. This is a special night.
Tate, you know, I hear a lot, and rightfully so. I hear about what a great crowd that Ravenwood brings to these games, and they will take over another person's home field. Not tonight, Brentwood. I'm telling you, you guys showed up big time. Big time.
They did. The Raptor Nation set the standard, set the bar. They met it tonight. Now they've got a chance to go top it, so it's going to be fun. John Street's in attendance, the Guru. Murphy Fair's in attendance. This is a big deal.
Are we missing anybody, Tate?
Rudy Kalis retired, right?
Tate, a lot of big games around
we are. The doctor.
Yeah, but
Jeremy Qualls.
He'll be watching, and he'll be back too. Tate, let's talk about some of the games here in the league tonight. Obviously, let's start here. One of the biggest games for the conference in terms of region and playoff implications. Here's some history, and you know I like history.
Yes, you do.
For the Battle of the Woods. Brentwood leads the overall series 10-9. Ravenwood has won 5 of the last 7. Ravenwood 2-1 advantage in the playoffs, and I've got a prediction. They're going to have a 4th matchup this year in the playoffs. What do you think?
I think you're exactly right. Hard to believe that it's that close, right? 10-9, with Ravenwood being as young as they are. They've won 5 of the last 7, and sometimes history has said whoever wins in the regular season, that's not good for the winning team come playoffs. So it's a heated rivalry. It's great. You know, Ravenwood was built to relieve part of the overpopulation of Brentwood. It's the same community, same people. I love it, man. It's going to be fun. And you're right. It's very, very tight. I think it's going to be a tight game again tonight.
Well, and you mentioned playing twice and splitting and doing all that stuff if they play in the playoffs. Another thing that happens, and you know this, the favorite doesn't always win this game.
No, actually, the last couple years, in the regular season at least, it has been the underdog. So that's going to make your pick even that much harder tonight. But that's what a rivalry is, right? It's not a rivalry when somebody wins 10 times in a row, 15 times in a row. 10-9. And Kreger's here tonight too, so it's a full house.
Oh, it is a full house. Good to see you, Tom. Must be a big game.
It is a big game. I think that says everything. But so, yeah, I mean, that's what makes it a rivalry. You know, you don't know who's going to win, okay? And I think tonight's that way again. They're totally different teams, but there's so many players on the field out there tonight warming up, man. And I'm not just talking about guys with Power 5 offers or 4 stars. I'm talking about guys that they'll remember for a long time. There's legends on this high school field tonight on both sides that people will be talking about in 10, 15 years.
No doubt about it. Let's get more specific about the game. Brentwood 3-1 overall, 1-0 in the league. Ravenwood 4-0, 2-0 in the league. Let's face it, the winner of tonight's game is probably going to win this region.
It's going to be really, really hard.
Now, Independence may have something to say about that, right?
You're right. They're playing well right now, and they're undefeated. But I don't think, again, I think we've known that since the beginning of the season, and I think we know it now, even with the setback last week to Henry County by Brentwood. It's the 2 best teams in the league. And, you know, I just hate that it's kind of like Tennessee, Florida used to be. I hate that they have to play this early. Wouldn't this be awesome if it was week 10?
Well, we might see it about week 13. Ravenwood ranked 3rd in the AP top 10 poll for the state of Tennessee, coming off that big win last week against Pulaski Academy. Had kind of a national feel to it, 61-47. The Bruins ranked 7th in the AP poll, coming off a disappointing loss at Henry County. Again, didn't really affect region implications. Tate, my question for you, any chance of this being a trap type of game for Ravenwood or do you throw that out the window because it's such a big rivalry? Because they had that big win. Maybe Brentwood, coming off that loss last week, that Ravenwood, they don't overlook this game, do they?
No, I don't think so. And I think one of the main reasons is they have so many seniors, so they know how important this game is, right? And, the Pulaski Academy game was a huge win that got national recognition, and it should have. But this is the Battle of the Woods. And, again, they're seniors. They know, man, a lot of these guys are going to go to school together next year in college for the next 4 years, and they don't want to have to talk about we ruined your win over Pulaski Academy. So, no, I don't think it's a trap game, but I think it's a game they could lose because I think Brentwood's good enough to beat them.
I'm going to tell you this, Tate. This isn't the Pulaski Academy game. This is even bigger time field, right?
That's right, without a doubt. And I think Brentwood overall has more players than Pulaski Academy had.
Definitely
the Pulaski
more
Academy
physical.
people told the Ravenwood people and others in the stands, we haven't seen anybody like this in 6-7 years in Arkansas.
Well, and I think, and we'll talk about this more later, but my personal opinion, this will be the most physical defense that Ravenwood's faced.
I can assure you of this. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'll bet my house, as big of a game as Reggie Mason has, he won't catch 7 touchdowns tonight. If Rod Crawford has to put 4 on him, he won't catch 7 touchdowns tonight.
I agree. I definitely agree. Hey, so speaking of Andrew Mason, of course, those really a record-setting week for him. We talked about this on Sports Connection, him actually being a part of 5 state records in terms of the list. 7 touchdowns receiving, only 8 receptions, but 7 were touchdowns. 1 touchdown rushing, a total of 356 receiving yards. Garcia, 12 of 16, 7 touchdown passes. Going to be tough to slow down that Ravenwood offense.
Yeah, it is, but I think that there's things that you can do. And like I said, those that have been watching Brentwood football or high school football in the Mid-State for a long time know, Coach Crawford's not going to let that happen. And now, if you do that, now that opens up some other things, right? But Reggie is a great player, and he will, I'm sure.
Andrew, sure his dad was
Reggie,
too.
that's his dad. Andrew, sorry. He knows what I'm saying. Little Reggie. Andrew is a great player, but there's no way he's going to get that many wide open looks. They'll bracket him or do something like that. Now when you do that, you got Brenningstool, who's a matchup problem, the 6'6" tight end, and then you've got the running backs. You've got the running game with Tony Rice, and then I think you're going to see more of Reggie Grimes from the tailback spot as well. And you got to worry about Garcia and his feet.
So if Brentwood is going to slow down Ravenwood, we're going to hear Howard a lot tonight, aren't we?
I would think so. Howard, Laughlin.
Yeah.
They're all guys in the linebacker crew. They're going to have to have a big day. And Sterling Ambrose, they're all right up there about 31, 30, 29 total tackles for the season. So those 3 guys are going to have a big game for sure. And they're going to have some help from their teammates up front, keeping those big linemen that Ravenwood have, Slenoff and Barton, off them. But if they can do that and get to the ball carrier, I think they'll have a chance to be successful.
Let's talk about the Brentwood offense. And when you do that, you certainly have to mention Mr. Granzow first, right?
Without a doubt.
Getting it done through the air, 2 touchdowns running last week. Talk about what he means to that Brentwood offense, Tate.
Well, I think it starts and ends with him, right? But here's what I thought's pretty cool. Going into this game, Ravenwood's 4-0, Brentwood's 3-1. They do it in a different way, but both quarterbacks have 13 total touchdowns on the season. Garcia has 11 passing, 2 rushing. Granzow has 8 passing, 5 rushing. So they do it differently. You know about it. Coach Crawford talked about it at Media Day. You're going to see a heavy dose of the RPO, but you ask how much of a part of it is, it begins and ends with him. Now, they got to protect him, and he's done a really good job of protecting the ball throughout the year. Struggled a little bit last week. I think it was a perfect storm. We talked about it. Henry County's a tough place to go and play. That won't happen again tonight. But Cade needs to have a big night, both rushing and passing tonight, for them to be successful, and he's got to protect the ball, and I think he will.
You talked about that being an uncharacteristic type of game for Granzow last week, and you said he may have had more incompletions last week than he'll have the rest of the season. What kind of stats and numbers would you look for tonight from Granzow if that Brentwood offense is going to be successful?
Hard to tell because you don't know how many times they're going to have the ball, right? So I think they're going to have to make the best use of the possessions they have. But I would think Coach Crawford wouldn't want to see him with more than 25 passing attempts. If he does, that probably means things aren't going well for the Bruins. They want to run the ball, 25 passing attempts, have him about 17 completions, 18 completions. If he has 2 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns like he has, or 3 passing touchdowns too in weeks 1 through 3, then they probably got a victory.
Well, and you alluded to this. Time of possession is going to be big tonight for Brentwood, right?
I would think so. I mean, that's an explosive offense over there in black.
All right, let's talk about some other games around the league. Centennial at Dixon County. You mentioned this. Centennial looking for their first streak of the year. And by the way, I noticed on the show, I watched it just to see if we can make some improvements. We both picked the Cougars. Aren't
Of
they?
Centennial.
Yeah,
you
right.
picked the Cougars of Dixon County.
No, we just said Cougars, and the other agreed.
Hey, man, don't sleep on the Cougars of Dixon County. They had not scored
Centennial.
an offense. No, of Dixon County. They had not scored an offensive touchdown until last week. 13-12 victory over the McGavick Raiders. Jay Gore, former Brentwood High assistant. So they're playing better, but not well enough.
I'm sleeping on Dixon County.
Yeah, you're
by the
sleeping
way.
on it. Okay.
You know, and talking about Centennial, obviously Grayson Marcel, that's a name we've said a lot this year. Desmond Smith, Kevin Townsell, but now Antonio Forrest with 2 rushing touchdowns last week. He becomes more of a factor. Centennial, look out, right?
Yeah, they're starting to get some weapons, and they're playing better. And here's the neat thing. You remember how down they were after the Ravenwood loss, which I think Coach Daniels probably pulled the dogs off them in the fourth quarter. But here they are. They've won 2 games now. They got a chance to win their 3rd of the season. Centennial's season's looking up. It's going to come down to Centennial and Franklin for that 4th spot for the playoffs. And Desmond Smith now, we got a lot of great players in this conference, but Desmond Smith is as explosive, maybe the most explosive running back in 11 AAA. He'll have a big night tonight. Kevin Townsell's expensive. And you mentioned Grayson Marcel. He's a quarterback that's really, really good. He threw for over 2,000 yards last year, and he only played in 6 games. So he's getting better. I think Centennial's better than what people think.
I do too. Speaking of Franklin, you mentioned Franklin. Tonight they're at Independence. Franklin 1-3, 0-1 in the league. Independence 3-1, 1-0. So even though the Rebels are on a 3-game skid, Independence on a 3-game winning streak, Franklin wins that game tonight. In essence, they're 2 games ahead, right?
Without a doubt. And
that'll be tough, though.
You hate to say it
That'll
about high school kids, right? But if there's a must-win, Franklin has a must-win tonight. But Independence, ever since they lost the first game of the season in the border battle to Summit, and then, as we mentioned on the show, they were down 10-0 in the first quarter against CPA. Since then, they outscore CPA 20-0. We know about the Blackman win. We know about the Franklin win. They're playing really, really good now. We talked about Cade Granzow, Brian Garcia, Ethan Cash. You can throw his name in the hat as the best quarterback in 11 AAA too. He's really, really good. It's going to be tough for Franklin to overtake them tonight.
You know, you talk about Cash, 37 pass attempts last week, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Really impressive, especially with some of that decision-making he has to have there in that offense. So I know Coach is really happy about that. We talked about the game from Chase Bishop. You know, Mason has such a big game, but then Bishop, 11 receptions, 210 yards, 5 touchdowns. We'd be talking about that week a little bit more, if not for the Andrew Mason week.
That's right, without a doubt. I think he tied. He's number 5 on that list now.
Right.
So Andrew is number 1, and Chase tied number 5. And what's crazy is, you know, this time last year he was here. So how crazy would that be tonight? But I think the cool thing about Cash is he's kind of a mixture of the two tonight. He can extend plays with his feet, like Garcia, but then he's a guy they can call the quarterback run, and he's running it downhill like Granzow, and he's tough to get. That's been the biggest part of their offense, I think. Once they figured that out, you know, he's rushing for over 100 yards a game and passing over 200. So, and yeah, Chase they're starting to get their chemistry together. Again, I just don't understand that. You know, after touchdown 4, I'm bracketing him. What did you used to call it when you'd put 3 of them in a basketball? You know what I'm saying? I'm 1-3-1 in them. I don't know. We might get beat 60-0, but he's not catching that 5th.
Oh, I understand that for sure. Now, let's talk Fairview Sycamore. Fairview coming off 3 straight road games. And obviously, I think it's Fairview time now. Region play starts. My prediction, this is not a bold prediction, they're well on their way tonight for a 4-peat for that region championship. Heavy dose of Logan Nardozzi tonight and Anakin King, I'm sure.
Without a doubt, and Garrett Wooten and with Anakin King, created a great chemistry from the quarterback and wide receiver position, and they're pretty explosive against. They got going a little bit against Page, and then ever since then, they've really had a nice chemistry. They've been hooking up for about 2 touchdowns a game. There's been a 90-yarder there between those two. And, Logan Nardozzi, he'll be sitting on the sideline with Coach Hughes in the third quarter eating popcorn and eating atomic fireballs. But Miss Dickerson, which Brentwood High knows Coach Dickerson's wife, Miss Dickerson used to hand out atomic fireballs when we were up. But, hey, this is what I would say. Sycamore, they've got a good coach, and they're trying to do things the right way. They almost got Popcorn City by White House Heritage last week. Fairview's not White House Heritage.
No, that's a big win for Fairview tonight. Nolensville, Lawrence County, a much improved Lawrence County team. They were 2-8, 0-5 in the region last year, coming in at 3-1, 1-0. Nolensville, off to their best start at 3-0 tonight, looking for number 4. And I was going to make a prediction. I wasn't going to let you beat me to this. Samson Johnson scores another TD tonight, Tate, the freshman there from Nolensville.
Well, that would make him 4 for 4 if he does. I saw Coach Harrison walking by here earlier. He knows him very well. Samson Johnson, the freshman out of Mill Creek. This guy, he's the real deal. And they're trying to find ways to get him the ball. So I'm with you. I don't know that was a bold prediction that he gets his 4th touchdown, but I agree he will get it. And I'm just happy to see. They had the week off last week, which is crazy that they needed it that early, but they did a little beat up. But what I'm excited to see more than that is Tim Kutris, the two-way player, probably the best. Walker Merrill's one of them here. He's a great two-way player here at Brentwood. But right now, Kutris might be the best two-way player in the mid-state. Right now, they've played 3 games. He's got 4 receiving touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He's gotten at least one of both in every game. Like to see if that continues tonight. I don't know if he'll be on the field long enough to get it, but I hope he does.
Final game involving Williamson County Schools tonight. This is a definite Popcorn City game. Summit at Overton. I bet Overton this week was trying to figure out a way to get out of this game, Tate. But they're going to have to play the Spartans tonight. I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if Old Sparty starts a little slow. Could be kind of a letdown game for them. Going on the road, maybe their crowd's not as big. It won't matter. Once they get going, it'll be too much Wade and G.O. for the Spartans.
Yeah, I think you're right, and especially Wade, number 1 Wade, the quarterback. The guy's special. He's a sophomore, and nobody's figured out a way to stop him yet. I find it hard to believe that Overton. I don't think they start slow tonight. I think they start quick, get up on them quick, and I think they take care of business very, very early. Now, what's going to be pretty cool is Overton's got a 6'8", 350, 360-pound right tackle. So I would say whatever side he's on in defense, Destin Wade will go the other way, but that's okay. It's Popcorn City, and Summit's playing. They're playing, again, another quarterback that we talk about. I mean, that guy, he takes over games. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait.
Tate, I want to give a shout-out to these 3 young men who are up here with us tonight, and I give them credit now. We met earlier in the week, and they said, we're going to bring it big time. And I told them, I said, look, now Ravenwood's going to show up, and they're over there, right? But I'm going to tell you, this Brentwood crowd's not taking a back seat to anybody tonight. So we have Russ up here with us, Dalton, Jonah. They're going to tell you about the signs that they had made and the meanings behind those. All right, go ahead, gentlemen. Keep it clean.
What?
Go ahead, Jonah. Tell us about your sign there.
Yeah, this sign's sick. Really represents the Bruin. We're going to eat some Raptors tonight.
Hey guys, my name's Dalton. Right here we have a sign made by one of our students. It says, I tried to change my password to Raptors, but Gmail said it was too weak.
Wow.
That just shows you that Brentwood High School, that we're smart, we know how to make good jokes, and we don't play nice. We don't play nice. This is how it goes. We don't play nice.
Be nice after tonight, fellas. Be nice. That's our mantra. Be nice.
My sign was originally a Bruin eating a Raptor, but it was too gruesome, and we had to censor it.
Oh, wow. Big time.
So what is it now?
A football with a Raptor on it?
The Bruins eating it. I like it. What's the yellow? Is that flames? What?
Gold
decor?
flames, baby.
I like it.
That means they're bringing the heat, Tate. They're bringing the heat. Gentlemen, thank you
The
for
art
being here.
department's strong here.
Tate, we'll be right back in just a few. We're going to talk to the coaches here in just a bit. We're live from the Battle of the Woods.
The Novation Launchpad comes equipped with everything you need to create unique music.
Hey, Bruin Nation, if you would, make a warm welcome for the head coach of the Ravenwood Raptors, Coach Matt Daniels. Give him a great Brentwood welcome.
Hey, I got to be honest. 2 years ago, it was much worse on him. Do you agree? It was much more intense. The warm welcome you got 2 years ago.
We got the mic there.
All right.
Yep, you good. So what about the welcome, Coach? Better a couple years ago or worse?
Worse as in it was much more intense, right?
They let me feel it.
Yeah, they let him feel it.
Yeah.
Yeah. He knew he was here.
Hey, maybe they're a little nervous this year. I don't know. Maybe. Coach, third year at Ravenwood, 24-6, 2-1 in the Battle of the Woods. So that's a great start for you. Hey, year one, you're in the quarterfinals. Year two, you're in the semifinals. You guys are on a mission here on year three to take that next step, right, Coach?
Absolutely. I think, that's kind of a natural progression in the minds of everybody involved in the program. But, if we're being honest, we fell short the last couple of years of what our goal was. So same goal every year. And, Brentwood's in the way. They were in the way twice last year. And that's what makes this rivalry so much fun is that there could be another playoff, opportunity for us to match up. So.
Coach, this may be just a nutty question, and maybe it is if it's not Brentwood, but if you look at the definition of a trap game, it sort of seems that way because what a hype for Pulaski Academy. Brentwood loses to Henry County. No way that happens in this atmosphere, though, right?
I think it's pretty difficult for that to happen. I think people could label it as that, and I know you've talked about that a little bit this week, but it's our job as coaches to eliminate that from the vocabulary of our players. I don't know that they've ever heard that word, trap game, come out of my mouth, that's for sure. So.
Hey, I defended you earlier. I said, no, man, there's no way this is a trap game for them. It's the Battle of the Woods, man. Now I know why. They got their backs turned to you. It's pretty good. I'll give them credit. Now I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Maybe I should face them.
You don't even matter.
Hey, Coach, I talk about this all the time, and I love it. Coach Daniels, the definition of the modern coach. He's got the flat bill. He's got music in practice. He's got the smoke coming out when you guys come out for the game. You got the victory bell, which you're planning on ringing tonight on this field. Coach, talk about that. To me, your players have to love playing for you. They have to.
Well, I love coaching them. I mean, that's the thing. It's a mutual, two-way street, and you got to get a feel for what your players want. And if you're able to provide that in a safe atmosphere where they can still get work done, we're going to do that.
Absolutely. And, and Coach Crawford maybe does it a little different way. His way's effective for him as well. It's all about being authentic, and both of you guys are.
Absolutely. Ron is one of the most authentic coaches I've come across. It's been a real pleasure getting to know him the last couple of years. And, as weird as it sounds, he's been a little bit of a mentor to me. So really hats off to him.
Coach, thanks for being up here. Good luck tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys.
Give it up for Coach Daniels. Come on, Bruin Nation. Let's go. We'll be right back with Coach Crawford.
In today's world, science and technology are becoming increasingly important. Historically, women have been underrepresented in the fields of science, technology, engineering, and math professions. With this being on the road to change, women are still in need of encouragement and empowerment into these industries. By exposing young girls to opportunities in STEM professions, they are encouraged to choose a career in the hard science fields. Increasing women in STEM will benefit our future. She can STEM, so can you.
All right, Bruin Nation. Give it up for your head coach, Mr. Rod Crawford, as he comes up to the stage.
Testing 1, 2.
Coach Crawford, this isn't your first rodeo in this game. I did a little history lesson for myself this week. 15th year at Brentwood High School. You may not even know these totals. 9-7 in the Battle of the Woods. Obviously, you were here 2002 with that state championship to 2011. You leave and you come back. My question to you is this. Is it more special these last 5 years than maybe even those first 10?
Yeah, I think so. You know, for a long time, it was the Brentwood-Franklin game was the biggest, I guess, when I was here the first 10 years. And it was really because we ended up being most of the time the best two teams and meeting in the playoffs. Well, kind of flipped a little bit. And I think in the time that I was gone, this rivalry really, really grew. And you can tell by both student bodies, man, it's a special night for all the kids and both teams for sure.
Tate?
Well, you know, first of all, let me say this, Coach. You look outstanding tonight. You look like you just played 18 at Brentwood Country Club.
I don't play golf.
I know, but you look like you do. So,
If he did, he would have gone low, Tate.
without a doubt. He'd
taken
gone
it
down
low.
fighting, buddy. And he would not have ridden in the cart, I guarantee you. No, I've been watching, I've seen it, I think, not every one of them, but almost all of them. And the one constant in all of this has been him. You know, he's been a big, you know, 2 tours of duty here, but you've had so many great coaches. He's got a state championship. Rector, Hester, Jack Daniels. I think Matt's going to be a great, and he's seen them all, man. And it's just he was a part of one up in Riverdale and Oakland, and there's just nothing like this one, right? And so many memories, big plays through the years.
Yeah, I mean, this is I've been fortunate at Oakland, Riverdale when it was just us, and Smyrna felt like another place, you know, and then the Cleveland Bradley is something pretty unique too. But I would say this is the best game statewide. I don't know of any others that get the environment we do. That I mean, we were the highest. We sold more tickets for the playoff game than any playoff game in TWSAA last year. So I think that says a lot in itself. And both student bodies do a great job. Ours has been behind us all year, and we're really appreciative of it, man.
Coach, and I know you're not looking ahead, but I got a prediction. You're going to have a chance to outsell that TWSAA record and do it again this year. I'm telling you, I think you're on a crash course to play again, Coach.
I didn't hear a word he said, but I think Coach Jones is doing a great job. It's been fun having him around. I'm glad he gets to see this rivalry.
No, it's great.
We certainly hope we'll compete and make our school proud tonight.
Coach, good luck.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Appreciate it.
Let's hear it for Coach Crawford, Bruin Nation. We'll be back for our final segment, the Pick'em segment, in just a minute. All right, welcome back to the Battle of the Woods 2019. On the stage with us tonight for our Pick'em segment, Dr. Pam Vaden, the principal of Ravenwood High School, Kevin Kydell, principal of Brentwood High School.
I wore white, too.
Thank you. Hey.
Are we on?
You're on, let's go.
Oh, hey, I really appreciate all you guys wearing white tonight for our whiteout. Pam, especially you, Dr. Vaden. It's so nice of you to have the spirit of our school. You know, so you were once at Brentwood High School. We know the Bruin blood runs deep.
How about that, Dr. Vaden?
If you notice, I got a big red raptor right here.
He mentions it every year, and something tells me he'll do it again next year too.
Oh, yes.
Hey, was it hard to get the students a little focused on academics this week with this game? Tell me about your week at school.
I tell you what, it's a rivalry in everything that we do. It's a rivalry in academics. It's a rivalry in football. It's a rivalry in forensics. Everything between these two schools, it's a great competitive rivalry. So the kids were focused on their academics this week, but today they've been a little focused on this football game.
How about it, Dr. Vaden? Same thing there at Ravenwood?
Same at Ravenwood. We had a pep break, but it only lasted 2 minutes. They were too excited. We had to send them back to class.
That's a good thing. Before we get into tonight's pick'ems, I do want to say thank you to our sponsors, Walker Chevrolet in Franklin, Tennessee, Street Tuxedo, and by the way, they provided our nice blazers here tonight and some waters for the students. So thank you, Street Tuxedo, Spring Tree Media, Adidas, and Matthews Team Sports. Also, many thanks to Mr. Adcock and the media students here at Brentwood High School. They helped make this broadcast happen, and we're certainly very proud of those students. Now, we're going to go through our pick'ems here. And I'll give you the point spread. Doesn't matter. I might ask if you think they'll cover it. I'm just going to ask who you think's going to win. So we're going to start with Dr. Vaden and just move right down the line. Dr. Vaden, Centennial at Dixon County. Centennial is a 36-point favorite. Do they win that game?
I think Centennial has a team that people don't realize they'll win tonight.
Will they win by 36 or more? Or is that too many?
It could be. Probably about 36.
Okay.
42-0 Centennial. Whoa. They'll cover the 36.
Okay, Tate. Tate, what do you got? You look like you're dumbfounded down there. What's going on?
Well, Dr. Vaden, I'm telling you, man, she always knows.
She knows her.
So, but she said 36, which that doesn't. I say Centennial wins, but not by 36.
Fairview versus Sycamore. Fairview's a 10-point favorite. By the way, I'm picking Centennial, too. I skipped myself. Dr. Vaden, Fairview, Sycamore. Who wins that game at Fairview?
A home game, Fairview for sure.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go Fairview also. Coach Hughes has got a great ball team again this year.
He does.
I don't know. Well, I do know, but I'm not going to call him out. I don't know who set the lines on this. They'll be beating them by more than 10 points. Fairview will be beating them by more than 10 points with 5 minutes into the first quarter. This is Popcorn City.
Okay. Franklin, and I'm going Fairview myself. Big time win. I'm going to say 25.
You're picking Franklin, the Rebels?
No,
Oh,
Fairview.
I got you.
Fairview.
Sorry, the band was in my ear.
I'm picking last
Sorry.
here. All right, Franklin, 12-point underdog at Independence. Franklin Independence, how's that go? At Indy.
Independence has a great offense. I have to go with Independence on this one.
Okay. Mr.
I'll
Caudill.
go for the upset. I'll have Coach Webb going into Independence and pulling off the big
Wow.
upset this week.
The Brentwood principal picking Franklin. I respect that. Go ahead.
What's the line?
12.
Independence.
I'm going to say
Cash is too much.
I'm going to say Franklin covers, Independence wins. Maybe I can please both there, right? Franklin covers the spread, but Independence wins. Summit, an 8-point favorite at Overton. It's going to be more than that, isn't it? What say you, Dr. Vaden? Summit at Overton.
Well, now I have to go with Summit High School for sure. What do you say?
I agree with you. You're on
Okay.
a roll today. We've agreed on almost every game. You're doing quite well.
You're getting ready to disagree, I got a feeling.
Mr. Caudill and I just figured this out. Vegas did not set the odds this week.
Dr.
Atlantic
Vaden
City did. This is awful. Summit, Popcorn City.
Summit, big-time win, Old Sparty. Nolensville, 13-point favorite versus Lawrence County. That game is at Nolensville. Nolensville, Lawrence County.
I know a lot of those coaches over there, and they're strong, and the team's strong. I have to go with Nolensville.
Okay.
You taught him everything he knows,
I did.
didn't you? So I'll have to go. Since Dr. Vaden taught the Nolensville coach, we're going the Nolensville Knights.
I agree. Nolensville Knights. This wasn't the out-of-county games weren't real good. These were easy ones this week.
Easy ones. Obviously, Nolensville, I'm saying by at least 20.
Are they getting to us?
Our man, the freshman, he'll score a touchdown, Tate.
I'm saying 2.
Oh, 2 touchdowns. You might be
Samson
right.
Johnson with 2.
All right, our final pick of the week, and I got a feeling you guys are going to be a little bit different. And by the way, this line's unbelievable. Brentwood, a 16-point underdog here at Brentwood. I'm not seeing that. But who you got, Dr. Vaden? Brentwood, Ravenwood.
Brentwood's got a great RPO. And if we can just stop there, kind of cancel that out tonight, we got a good chance of winning.
So who's going to win?
Football. They have a chance to win. She agrees it's a chance. It's not a great chance. But we're not only going to cover this 16, we're going to win outright. As long as we can keep Dr. Mason's son from having 8 touchdowns this week again, I think we got a great chance to pull off the big upset.
All right, Tate, who you got? All right, listen up, Bruin Nation. We're getting ready to make these picks
Here we go.
for this game.
I've been doing this now for 6 years, and this one I never really know how to do it, but this is without a doubt the best crowd that Brentwood, the Bruin Nation, has ever had. I love the black jerseys versus the red jerseys. I think Cade Granzow is a big-time quarterback, but when I choose against Dr. Vaden, it doesn't usually end well for me. This is the first and the last time you'll ever see me in a flat bill hat.
Oh, no, he's going with Ravenwood.
I'm going with the Ravenwood Raptors.
Didn't we win last year when you picked Ravenwood?
I don't know. I can't remember.
All right,
exactly.
all right, Bruin Nation. Before I make my pick again, I want to thank Walker Chevrolet, Street Tuxedo, Spring Tree Media, Adidas, and Matthews team. All right, let me tell you, I couldn't decide who I was going to pick. I really couldn't. I had my mind on picking Ravenwood. Then I come over to Brentwood High School and I hang out with my man Dalton, my man Russ, my man Jonah. But then I also see my man Matty D come up here. Matty Ice, the coach at Ravenwood High School. I love him. I love the flat bill. I love the music in practice. Hey, I love Coach Crawford, old school too. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to base it on this crowd tonight. Raptor Nation showed up. I'm going white out tonight. Bruin Nation. We'll see you next time.